Hi, I'm Lilah here.
And I'm Gibson, and we're the 2016 British Senior Ice Dance Champions. And this week we're going to compete at the NHK Trophy in Japan.
We're very excited.
First of all, to Lila, how did you first get interested in skating?
Well, my mom actually used to skate, and I also come from a family of skaters. My uncle was an ice hockey player. So when I was 2 years old in my mom's hometown in Canada, I got put on the ice. Well, I was really held up at first. And from there, it was just something I did recreationally. And then when I moved to London, I started lessons around 6, and here I am.
And then Lewis, on the other hand, you were relatively old when you started skating. What got you interested in the sport?
So, yeah, I was 11, and it was after watching a TV program called Dancing on Ice, which we have in the UK. Basically, celebrities pair up with a professional skater, and it was hosted by Torval and Dean. And after that, I just went along to my local learn to skate and just kept going. Yeah.
Another thing about you is that you only started ice dancing pretty recently, and you've obviously picked up on it very quickly. What do you attribute that to?
I think for me, even in single skating, I love the performance side of the sport versus the jumps. Hence why I stopped that. And yeah, I'd had for a few years our federation sort of persuaded me to try it, and yeah, I guess the time felt right. And yeah, it's our third season now.
hmm
And Lila, your sister actually competes on the junior level. She was at the Junior World Championships last year. And then you
Yeah.
have another sister that is involved in which sport?
She's a cross country runner. So she does cross country and track, and she runs for her university in New Hampshire.
For both of you, who are your favorite skaters and role models growing up?
I would say, coming from Great Britain, definitely Corbin and Dean, obviously. They really made a stamp on ice dance history in the UK, and everyone loves them and knows of them.
Yeah,
So they've definitely been influential, and we've been lucky enough to work with them in the past as well. And then for me, ever since I was little, I always looked up to Tessa and Scott, and I read their book after the 2010 Olympics in my bunk bed every night in Canada. So to be able to train with them for the past couple of years has been a dream come true, and we definitely admire their relationship. They're very professional, and they respect one another immensely, so that's really admirable for us.
so for a very long time and still to this day, I love Daisuke Takahashi's skating. Like, I think he is the best performer on the ice. I'm so glad that he's having a comeback this year. And yeah, training alongside just all the skaters in Montreal, Gabby and Guillaume, Tessa and Scott. It's great to see how they motivate each other and just us every day. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
How did the discussions and the idea to first skate together come about? And did you click immediately, or did it take a while to kind of get in that rhythm?
Well, the timing just was perfect because I was just splitting up with my previous partner. We competed together in junior, and Lewis was just switching to ice dance. And the federation suggested we try out, so I went to Scotland and we did a tryout at Lewis's local rink. And definitely we worked well together from the start. We were guided in the tryout, but then we were left alone to just see how we worked together, and we clicked immediately. So yeah, I'd say from the
Yeah.
start, we had a great relationship.
And I think it was great as well. We both trained at the Toronto Cricket Club in the summers for years, and so we knew of each other and each other's skating styles. So I think that also helped when we got together to make that first initial connection.
Mm-hmm.
As we talked about, you're still a relatively new team, yet you've progressed extremely quickly. You finished fifth at Skate America, first Grand Prix stop. How was that experience? And being on the Senior Grand Prix, was that a whole new level of nervousness, or were you comfortable going in?
We just didn't really know what to expect because
Yeah.
it was a whole new experience for us, and we were so excited to have been invited to compete at a Grand Prix. That was always a huge goal of ours. So we just really didn't know what to expect, went into it with open minds and just to have fun and to entertain the crowd. And the crowd was amazing. They
Yeah.
were so energetic, so supportive, even in the practices. And we were really lucky to go with Madison Hubble and Zachary Donahue, our training mates, Lewis's roommate, Zach, and to have them as role models there to see, because they won, so to see how they handled the pressure and to learn from that. And
just thinking of every step along the way when we were there as well, it was really great. And I think we had the experience of doing Europeans and Worlds before, so the scale of the event we were used to, but something that was very different was the crowd this time. We had never really performed and had such great feedback like that before, and that was really special, I think.
Yeah, we loved it.
Speaking of that, I mean, you really lucked out with Grand Prix this year because you're going to Japan now, and these fans know everything about everybody. So with that in mind, you know, they're going to root for you, but do you have any specific goals there? And then moving on throughout the season that maybe you didn't necessarily have at Skate America, but now moving forward you do have?
I think similar to Skate America, we're just going to go try and skate our best program, and where that has us, we won't know. But I think that's the game of this sport. And that's what's fun about it as well. You know, it's what everyone does on the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just trying to improve all the time. For sure.
Yeah, and between Skate America and NHK, we've just been working on refining everything that we've been doing. We've only had a couple of weeks, but just to kind of solidify the technical aspect and to keep developing our artistic side as well. So just to hopefully show those improvements, even though it's been a short amount of time, and to just deliver 2 really strong skates.
Working with Roman and Dubreuil and Lausanne in Montreal, you have, at one point, you had the Olympic champions training with you, and now you have the top 2 the World Championships in ice dance at your home rink. So obviously they push you and they inspire you and all of that, but what would you say are the biggest differences in training methods compared to what you experienced early in your career now that you have all these top teams in one place? Is there anything different?
I just say how high level it is, because it's the best of the best. So the way that they train is going to be the best in the world. So to be able to observe that and to learn from that is really interesting. And just to see how they work together, how supportive they are of one another, despite being in competition with one another. I think that's really amazing to see and to develop in ourselves as well.
Yeah, and I think in the respect to the coaching, I really feel that it's almost less is more. They're pushing you as a coach rather than just a technician all the time. And I think that really helps when you get to a competition. You know, you're there to do that job and perform. Not necessarily that's the moment where everything has to happen.
Yeah.
Your programs were obviously extremely well received at Skate America. I think you were the breakout stars of the entire competition. Let's start with the rhythm dance this year. It's Tango Romantica. This is a very difficult, complex dance with the steps and the intensity required. Did you find it to be a challenge to get into this style, or did it fit in with what you would say your personalities are? Was it more natural?
I'd say it was definitely more natural than the rumba. We weren't the biggest fans of the rumba, I have to say. So we were happy to be free of Killian hold for once. And definitely the intricacy of it is something that we were really excited to work on, because we love the free dance in general, and we felt like it was more reflective of that kind of transitional aspect. So, and also just the technical challenge of it. We feel like as we progressed as skaters, it was a new challenge, and we were excited to have had the Midnight Blues and the rumba to kind of ease into the Tango Romantica. But it's definitely difficult, but a great challenge for sure.
Like, we don't have much actual compulsory dance experience.
He's only done 3.
So it's every year, it's just another challenge presents itself. But yeah, it makes up a big portion of this year's rhythm dance.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's important for sure.
The free dance is disco medley. Whose idea was this? And kind of explain the choreographic process. I mean, this is just an all-out fun program. So how was it when you were coming up with ideas?
I mean, we had many ideas before we came to this one, and some like on the other scale completely.
Yeah.
And I think we were getting to the point where we didn't know what to do for this season, and we sat in the crowd, and I think it was myself. I was just like, "What about disco?"
And I said, "Hell no."
And then it was a sort of process of, maybe this could work. We chose some songs because the genre is huge, and there's so many
narrowing
great
it down was difficult.
Tracks, and I think we got a good selection.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we tried to have a mix of even some younger people would still recognize it, like September and obviously Michael Jackson, so we wanted to have that mix too so that everyone can enjoy it. And in terms of the choreography, we just had fun. We played around. Lewis is he's a coach and choreographer as well, so he definitely played a huge role in coming up with some ideas and just playing around. But Roman was so open-minded to our suggestions.
Yeah, it's great to work with him, especially choreographically.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, he's so talented.
He allows you to have such a big input, which I think really works for each program, and especially choreographing for as many teams as he has to. That allows each person to separate themselves.
Yeah, and it's still developing. I mean, we change little bits every week, I'd say. We just changed our sliding movement before Skate America. We weren't even sure if we were going to do it, and we decided to just throw in the new side split, which was well received. So it's fun to keep changing it all the time and to keep challenging ourselves.
Yeah.
My comment in our Skate America review was that typically in ice dance, I don't know if you've watched this, but in ice dance you usually see one skater with the really big personality, and then the other skaters may be more reserved or more concerned with kind of presenting that one to the judges. But with you two, I think you both are kind of equal in the sense that you both have this big personality, and it really shows in both of your programs this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So with that in mind, though, would you say you've always been this outgoing, or did you kind of, as you've grown, get these bigger personalities, if that makes sense?
I'd say I've always been very chatty off of the ice, but I'd say in terms of being able to be confident on the ice, that's come with time.
Yeah.
And skating with Lewis the past 3 seasons, and I think if we were to do disco the first season, it wouldn't have had the same impact at all. I don't think I would have been able to do it, but I've become more confident in my abilities and in my dancing abilities, so now it's just kind of celebrating that and having fun with each movement.
Yeah, I guess the time plays a big part because there's certain transitions, things that just wouldn't have been achievable. And we noticed that when we first started to train the program, it was so much harder than any that we'd had before. And I think that push has allowed us to accelerate this year.
Do either of you have favorite elements that you perform, either in the rhythm dance or the free dance?
I'd say the sliding movement for me.
I knew you were going to say that. I was actually going to say, I know that's what it is. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about the choreographic elements. I wish the program was just all that. I think you can just do so much more with them. Like, it allows you to use the music better. There's no levels. You just have to tick a few boxes. But I really hope that the choreo slide stays for a few more seasons.
Yeah, and we love the choreo steps too, because that's the start of our program, getting everyone in the mood. It's a lot of fun to skate.
Least favorite element, do you have one?
The spin. I'm sure you've heard that a lot.
Everybody says the spin, every single team.
Yeah, it's like the break in the program. Well, that's how I do it.
You try to breathe, and then you still have to hold the position, and the spin for sure.
I think for me, probably the compulsory dances, just coming from the free skate side of things.
The technique behind it all is tricky.
Yeah. But
we're getting there.
Outside of the rink, what are some of your favorite hobbies? Lilah, let's start with you. I know you have a podcast. Talk a little bit about that.
So in between high school and I just started at McGill in September. I had a gap year, and I decided to pursue my passion of podcasting, because I've always been a fan of listening to podcasts like Tim Ferriss. So I gave it a try because I love talking to people and interviewing them, and it was just really a passion project for me, and it's had some great response. I put it on hold while I started university, but season 2 will probably be coming out when I have a bit more downtime.
And then Lewis, I know you're a spin instructor.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's something, I mean, I started it to help with the skating, just conditioning, and I love it. Like, just I find it such a great workout. So
He's really good, by the way.
I began becoming training to be an instructor this summer, and then that happens, and yeah, like I really enjoyed that.
But it's cool because it was something that he wanted to do after skating.
Yeah.
That was always like the next plan, I guess, and then to be able to do it at the same time is really exciting.
Yeah, it kind of worked out really well, actually.
I like to sing. I'm a soprano. That's so embarrassing. But yeah, I like to sing. So music's definitely something that I like to work on the ice, to be able to have that musicality from having a music background.
And I guess I enjoy art. I went to art school for 1 year before making skating my thing.
Favorite foods or snacks?
I'm a huge snacker and foodie. I'd say I'm really into nut butter at the moment, and dark chocolate, and any baked goods.
For me, like, I love pizza. Any competition we go to, I'm down for pizza for sure.
Favorite TV shows or anything that you're watching on Netflix currently?
I really like Quantico and Modern Family.
I'm currently watching a show called The Bodyguard, which was on in the UK, and the lead actor is Scottish, so I think just hearing the accent
when he's
is
homesick.
Nice. Yeah. But no, it's a great show.
Favorite music or artists?
I really like Bruno Mars. I always forget I do, and then when I hear his songs, I just can't stop dancing. So it's great to have the French team, Marie-Jeanne and Romain, at our rink skating to Medley, because I just sing along every day.
I listen to a lot of music for spinning and just trying to come up with playlists. I can't say I have an artist in general, but I definitely like remixes of old songs.
Favorite Disney character or a cartoon character in general?
Ooh. I have to say Snow White, because when I was little, I dressed up as her every single day and wore the plastic heels around London.
This one's tricky. I would go with Donkey from Shrek. I just love that character so much. Like the personality, everything.
Favorite sport outside of figure skating?
I love watching ice hockey, even though I know nothing about it. I love watching it. And tennis, of course. I'm a huge Roger Federer fan.
I think for me, tennis is one of the other sports I actually enjoy watching. Yeah.
You have a favorite player?
Federer.
I feel like I should say that,
No
but
pressure.
Andy Murray.
I knew that was coming.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Favorite location that you've traveled either for competition or vacation?
Italy. I love Italy. I always feel like I should have been Italian. So I loved Florence and Venice.
The biggest surprise for me was Budapest.
Oh, yeah.
The city's incredible. Like it's old. It's just great. Like it was a real shock.
The Christmas market was amazing.
What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
I wanted to be an actress and a singer. Basically Hannah Montana.
I think something to do with art. I was always really interested in that when I was super young.
When the skating ends, I know that you wanted to do a spinning thing. You've already done that. Is there anything else that either of you look forward to when the skating stops, or do you think you're always going to be involved in skating in some capacity?
I'd say I'd like to stay involved in skating for as long as possible after our career, but definitely I want to pursue podcasting more, or something along those lines with media. I love Oprah, so I'd love to do something like she does, for sure.
I'd like to stay involved in it some way, whether that's helping with the federation or something like that. But I definitely would like to live in other cities just to see how that is, different cultures.
Well, apparently we're good at imitating our coaches for Halloween.
Yeah. We've done this the last 2 years now.
Now we have a lot of pressure to keep it up.
The first year we did Marie and Rowan, and that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because we went to many competitions and
everyone thinks he looks like Roman.
Yeah, that was the constant joke. So we thought Halloween came around, we did it, it worked. And then this year, our kind of artistic coaches.
So I was Gigi, our ballroom coach.
And I was Sam. I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram. He works with loads of the skaters, and they're both have very iconic styles on the rink each day, so
yes.
It makes it easier.
My secret's a good wig, basically.
So do you do the mannerisms and voices too, or is it just the look?
Mannerisms,
yeah. Definitely Lewis has mastered Roman's mannerisms. But for Gigi and Sam, I'd say Gigi, it was difficult to imitate her accent. I tried and it was really bad. I was really bad at it. But definitely just her posture and different movements that she does. Like she always goes like this.
Yeah.
So some of those things were
We got
fun.
that Instagram boomerang.
Yeah, it's all about the boomerang.
Okay, well, now that you said it, you guys have to imitate Marie and Roman.
Oh, do I have to? I'd say you're better at Roman.
I mean, he has many. There's a lot of like this.
And Marie always goes like this with her hair. I'm Lilah Fear.
And I'm Lewis Gibson.
And we are heading to NHK, so be sure to tune in. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you.